Welcome to TimeBolt After Hours, or no, Office Hours on February 24, 2022. With us, we have John to talk about some problems that he's having. Can you explain first how you capture the video and what design program you're using?
Sure. The videos were captured with a MacBook Pro internal camera and iPhone.
Okay, so you got a multi-camera setup.
Right. Brought it into Final Cut, process it there. I do the same thing every month. It's for our computer user group meeting. I've had no problems until this month. And what happens is I render it out of Final Cut, produce video, which works. I bring it into TimeBolt like I do every month. And this month, the video does not show up in TimeBolt. And when I render it in TimeBolt, the audio comes through just fine. The video is a green screen. I have no idea what I've done wrong. And it's blizzarding. Where are you? Where are you?
I'm in my Colorado compound,
Wow. I mean, that's a blizzard out there.
Yeah, no, it really is cold outside. It's just 'tis the season,
Oh.
This is a fake virtual screen.
Okay, thank goodness.
Thanks for calling me out on that. I'm a horrible
Sorry
liar.
about that. I thought it was real.
Oh, nice.
Okay, any ideas?
So what we'll have to do is see your workflow.
Okay, you should see my screen now. I love TimeBolt. Here's the video right here. I go up and I export it. I've already done this to save time because it takes about an hour. So then I come over to, sit right here. Everybody, welcome to and it plays. I open it.
Is it a 40 gig file? Did I see that?
Yeah.
How long is it?
About an hour and a half.
And so one thing that could be done is instead of, if the encoder in TimeBolt is giving issues, we can just export it to like Final Cut Pro, render it out from Final Cut Pro again. Yeah, I will show you how to do that.
I mean, export it out of TimeBolt as
The XML file.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wait till you see what happens when we bring it to TimeBolt.
Until that finishes, can we just do a Command I on the file and see what the properties are?
Sure.
Does it need to open up the video and do a Command I? Or is it the same?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It looks fine to me. There's nothing that stands out.
But now look at in TimeBolt. I get the audio track beautifully, but the video track is no longer there.
Can we do one thing? Can we scroll down to the bottom of just scroll down to the bottom and click on the export FCPX XML and then click on that, the thing that popped up, and you can just double click on that file. Just select some random or something.
Yes, that one right there.
Yeah.
It worked. There's the XML file.
The second one?
Yeah.
There it is.
Double click it.
Can you play it? Let's see what happens.
Welcome to the February meeting about the computer users group. We'll get started. First off,
I can tell by all the cuts. So that way it works.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working from TimeBolt, but for now, at least until we figure out what's happening, you could use this alternative method.
Oh yeah.
How's it
any
encoded?
idea why it's not?
Yeah, we need to figure that out.
Oh goody, I got a good problem for you.
Is it H.265 by chance, Quinston?
It's ProRes, Apple 422 ProRes. But he said that it used to work, right? It used to work before.
It worked just fine up until this rendition.
I don't think we changed anything major, a few updates here and there, but okay, can you, is there any way you can send me that file?
Sure.
But Quinston, it's 48 gigs. Can we do this on a smaller scale?
Is there a smaller video that you can render for us? Like you can cut up the big video into a smaller chunk and send that?
Easily. I want to see if it does it on this one.
Yeah. Just check it once in TimeBolt if it has any issues.
It could be the size of the file is causing the issue.
Oh yeah, I never thought about that.
That's what the problem is.
Okay, it's like 48 gigabytes isn't loading into the preview section.
Yeah, which is a delta factor.
Yeah, but you also said that
an hour and a half. This one is over an hour and a half.
One question I have is that you said that even after you render it, it has a green screen, right? Can you play this?
Oh yeah, I can show you that.
Everybody, welcome to the February meeting about the computer users group. We'll get started.
Can you render the current one? The current one that's open in TimeBolt? Yeah, we can just render it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think it's a hard drive space issue, Quinston?
I don't know. It's too hard to tell because the file is so big, right? That a lot of things can break. I mean, it's 48 gigabytes of high quality video. So
it might even make more sense to change his rendering to something a little more manageable. I mean, I don't know if there's a benefit to a 48 gig file.
I just accepted defaults.
I think it's done.
Yeah. Well, that was fast.
You can just double click on the file right there. There you go.
Everybody, welcome to the February
Yeah.
Perfect. That's the issue.
The size of the file. I think there's something up with the size of the file. Okay. You can
Okay.
create a Zendesk ticket. You can create a ticket from the website.
Yes.
You can go to timebolt.io and create a ticket there.
Okay, how do I upload?
So all you do is
Yeah.
just basically put a Google Drive in, upload your file, put the link inside the support form. When you submit
okay.
that, we'll get that. There's links. Just follow those
Can I
instructions.
use Dropbox instead?
Whatever you like. Yeah, just make
Okay.
sure it's an open link.
Sounds good to me. I appreciate this very much.
You bet. You bet. It was nice talking with you,
Awesome.
John. Thank you
Nice
for the
talking
visit.
with you.
Yes, you guys take care and have a great morning.
Hey, you too. Thank you, sir.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Peter is up next. Peter, are you there?
Hello, yeah, all good. I don't really have any sort of questions or problems. I sort of just wanted to sit in and sort of see what was going on, see if there was any interesting stuff I could learn. I started using TimeBolt recently. It was a bit of an investment for me. So it's I do it for sort of live streams. So some of my live streams would be like 2 hours, some of them would be like 4. Run them through TimeBolt. It basically like halves it, and then it makes it so much easier to just edit through. So hopefully be planning to get more sort of VODs like uploaded on YouTube, because basically I just sort of like just press spacebar, fly through it, O to turn off the clips, Control B, cut, O, etc. etc. What is it when you put it into Premiere Pro as well? Because is it better to render it from the actual app, or is it better to drag in the JSON file onto the clip and go through like the sort of sequences, or is there another sort of secret that I'm missing at the moment? Or
the idea behind rendering it through TimeBolt is for users who are not experts at NLEs. Like if you're an expert and you know how to handle yourself in Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro, then I would recommend using those softwares, because the encoders that those softwares use are significantly better, because they spend like decades working on those. But if you're a beginner and you just want to like click a button and get the file right out of TimeBolt, that's the best way to do it. So yeah, it depends on your skill level, I'd say.
And the use case, I agree with Quincy, the use case as well. So I'll work in Final Cut Pro for, the brand type videos, but for videos that I send to customers, that I, send to support, I will run everything, just render right through TimeBolt, because it, makes quick videos just as quick, So
I agree with that.
It really depends on like the size of your audience, but using XML inside Final Cut or Adobe Premiere, it's nice to design with cut segments already there. It just helps delineate a lot faster. We do have, and I'm sure, have you seen our Adobe Premiere video, the multicam
I think I've
video?
watched them before. I got a bit confused before, because I basically just found a way that worked, and then I was just sort of going from that. So, but yeah, I'll have a look through the website and everything.
Cool, yeah, because we really recommend you smash the like button, pound the subscribe. Yeah. So no, we're working to continually increase our video tutorials, but I would suggest looking at the Adobe Premiere multicam setup. You can see how quickly it is to use the plugin. If I use Premiere personally, I would be using the plugin for sure.
Is there an easier way about sort of when you do a sort of segment that's like really small, and because you can't sort of change the zoom on the timeline, is there an easy way to get rid of those small bits? Like, is there like sort of a highlight, or do you have to basically click on the top bar? That's fine. I think it can sometimes happen if there's like a shorter one, and then like I try and cut it next to it, and then if you add too many cuts, it can sort of get a bit messed up when it's all together.
But Peter, I think what Peter's asking is that when you're really fine tuning, you're cutting out an or an ah, or you might have a word that just wants to be removed out of the middle. It can get really tedious if you can't zoom in, if you've got micro cuts really close to one another.
Yeah, that's the one.
And so right now we don't have a way around that. We just consider that user error at this time.
Okay. No, that's fair. You can just take those bigger sections and put them in Premiere Pro afterwards, so it's all good.
I'm glad you know the O keys, that our quick keys. It's fantastic to hear. And so, Peter, it's great to have you join us. If we want, Priscilla, are you there?
It's my turn now.
Yes. So just to kind of set this up, that you've been having a strange problem for couple days now. You posted to the community forum that when you configure TimeBolt and you watch the preview to check that you're noticing it's different between what you're previewing and what you're seeing in Premiere. And so we're hoping to see kind of your setup inside TimeBolt and what that workflow looks like into Premiere so that we can troubleshoot it for you. Perfect. We can see your screen.
I will open TimeBolt. I have the example. This video start on a point. I am talking about the game, but just start after pass through TimeBolt. Just start after and cut out some little pieces. Okay.
Yeah, we can just run it through and see what happens. Yeah. How many tracks?
Two. This is my config.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
No problem here. When I watch the preview, don't have the problem with some pieces is perfect here. Okay. And I watch, no problem. When I here don't start in the same time. This cut start when I have the controller on my hand. Okay. But in the preview, start before I was talking, have the difference.
Oh yeah, it's different. Okay.
And have a little difference in all the video.
Okay, I understand. Can you create a support ticket for this? I'm not sure why this is happening, but I'll have to test the file.
Yeah, there's another gentleman, Peter Robinson, that had the same issue. First time it worked perfectly, and now all the cuts are off. And Priscilla, did this work before for you?
Yes, in the beginner, it's working, but now, no.
So what we'd like you to do, Priscilla, is go to timebolt.io.
And you can create a support ticket there, yeah. And then submit a support ticket in the contact section. Write your name, email, and yeah, you just need to don't worry about that link. Just send the link with the raw video. So upload it to like Google Drive or whatever you use, and create an open link which we can then download the video from.
And both these fields are required. Just use the same link in both fields. Typically, we like to see a screen capture, but since we got your screen capture here, it's great. And Quiston, I think one of the points that we're asking for a support ticket here is that things looked fine on her file itself. It wasn't some odd frame rate.
Yeah, I see that.
And so that's what I kind of want to explain to people is like the first thing that you're wanting to look at is like, what's your frame rate? If it's like 20 frames per second or 57, try and get something that's a more standard frame rate for, to test the files with. We also would like to know, how did you capture this? Is this an OBS?
Yes, I use OBS.
Okay, yeah, that's surprising. Do you think the same thing would happen with the JSON using the plugin?
Yes. I have the same problem in another.
We'll test it. We'll figure it out. It shouldn't happen like that. It should work.
Save the timeline.
Yeah, so we'll wait for the file to upload. Priscilla, we have an understanding of what your question is and what the issue is, and we will certainly get back to you once Quinston kind of understands where the problem lies. Well, thank you very much, Priscilla. We'll get back with you, okay?
Thank you.
So, Quinston, I do have another, his name's Rob Bell, using Premiere, has a question that he submitted, and I've got a screen capture of his workflow. I thought I'd share it with you, play his audio, and let's see if you can kind of see what's going on here, okay?
How big the sort of reach is at the moment, or like where you're sort of going with it?
I'm in a $5 million compound in Colorado.
Oh, fair.
Or it's just all a ruse, and I pull that down and it's just a cold apartment. So are you asking how many customers? Like we're at about 10,000 downloads.
Oh, sick. Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was like a fairly new thing, something that's been going for a while. It's just around the sort of like I haven't heard of too many people like talk about it before, so I didn't know if I was one of the early people to jump on it. So it's just
I would think so. I mean, hopefully you are. I mean, this is still something that people can charge hourly rates for that they can now do in seconds, right? Because people are still used to this all being done by hand and manually. So you've certainly got an early mover advantage. There's a lot of people that still do this manually.
Yeah, the first time I saw it working, it was pretty crazy.
I mean, that's the thing. You first have to think of the solution before before finding TimeBolt at this point in time. So Quinston, this is our second video you're seeing on my screen.
Good morning. I hope you can help me with this issue. So I'm using Bolt, which is really working well for the longer type of videos I make. But I tend to have 3 or 4 different chunks that I'm going to import. So I'll name it obviously 1 through 5, right? My problem is this. If I import the first one, it's what I would expect. By that I mean it looks like a nested sequence. So there it is right there, and I drag it onto my timeline. That looks great, right? But as soon as I import the next one, I try and drag that in, that's what I get. And the difference between those two is there's little gaps over there. Even if I make this a nested sequence, it doesn't work. And if I now delete everything and then go straight back to that second one that I just imported, and then again drag that on, that's what I'd expect. So it's only working for the first one. What am I doing wrong here? I'm not a professional video editor. I'm trying to make software tutorials for web developers. So, I'm learning as I go here, but I don't understand why only the first XML doc I import gives me this structure.
That is not how it's supposed to look like, first of all. I'm not sure. That's not what you're supposed to double click on each of this, open them as a timeline. They're not nested sequences.
They're not nested sequences. You're supposed to open.
They're not supposed to, I'll give you an example. So let's say I am in TimeBolt, right? So let's say I'm in TimeBolt and I have this video loaded up, right? And these are my cuts, and they aren't perfect, but they start at 0. So I export my XML, I open it up in a file, this file, for example. I take this file and I drop it into my timeline, and then I come over here and I change it to a list view. And the reason I change it to a list view is then it allows me to differentiate between whether it's a timeline or an entire media file. This icon denotes a media file, and this icon denotes like a timeline. So I don't drag or drop anything. I just click on this, right? You click on this timeline icon and you get that by switching it to a list view. If you have this, it's very hard to understand. It does show it over here as a sequence, but when you click it in a list view section, in the type of a list view, you can identify this icon and just double click on it, and this will. And then if you want to make a new sequence, you can right click and create a new sequence and say this is my main sequence, and you can just name it whatever. You can open this as a main sequence, and then you can take this and then paste it here. And then similarly, if I have one more file which is similar to this, I can just drop it in and then do the same thing and then copy paste, make it bigger and bigger. That's essentially how you're supposed to be doing it. So for example,
so
if I take another file,
sequence.
So if I take another file, for example, let's say like this one, for example, I run this one and export XML. Do this, and this is the file. So I have this one over here, one. If I double click on this, it opens up like this. But then for me to add it to this part, I'll just come over here, copy it, and then add it, and then I can adjust it the way I want to.
Excellent. That makes sense. Yeah. I think that'll certainly solve this problem. Now, do the XML, is it only the JSON or both the XML and JSON that adds the additional crap at the end that you just have to find the end of your timeline and delete after?
There is, and the last clip is always extended to the end. The last clip isn't cut perfectly, but it's just one clip at the end of the file. Yeah. So you can just manually, just cut it out. But there's just one clip at the end.
Okay, with XML, because like with JSON, it adds the silences and different cut parts.
So in XML, it's just one clip at the end.
Okay, perfect.
Which it's not a nested or it's not multiple sequences. It's just one clip which you can extend or delete.
Okay, so here is basically our master audio that we have turned into the JSON file. And if I play it in here, it's perfectly fine.
Hey, what's up, patrons? Okay, so this video that you're about to watch,
cutting out all of our silences perfectly.
Of the video,
okay.
YouTube video that I'm going to be putting out.
And so that was already saved in the JSON file. So if I bring TimeBolt in, so this should be already synchronized. So it's already synchronized, and then we pulled our master audio over the camera's audio.
You don't have the master audio in there yet, right?
No, yet, because look, it's not.
Oh, okay.
And then so if we have this selected, and we apply the JSON file.
Oh, you have to do it separately. You can't do it together because
So
they're
you
separate
can't-
files, right?
Yeah, but it's the same audio.
It doesn't matter. It's not the same
Okay.
file.
Yeah, but
It,
we
it
didn't do
need,
that.
so if it's the same file, right, then you can do it. Like if they are the same MP4 file, then it's possible. But right now you have one wave and one just video, right? So what you need to do over here is you need to move A1 to A2. So move A1 to A2.
Yeah.
Just drag here.
No, just drag and drop it. Just drag
Let
it
me,
to A2.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
And you can delete that one over there. Yeah.
Delete this one.
Yeah, you can unlink them and delete them. Yeah.
Here, let me
Yeah, you want to hop on there?
yeah.
Oh, I thought that they're separate files. Are they separate files or not?
Well, we took away the camera audio and linked the good audio to it.
Oh, so it is a WAV file, right? Oh yeah, good. So
Yeah.
it's a WAV
So
file.
this
yeah.
is our video file. Let me get rid of everything. This is the video file with the camera audio.
Okay,
This-
so do it
this
like
is
that.
the-
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
this
Now
is
we can
good audio.
synchronize it. Yeah.
I'm gonna right click and synchronize audio, and then I'm gonna. What we did do is we just got rid of the camera audio before we started.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like you unlink them, delete the A1 part, and keep the A2 part.
So that's the good audio.
Yeah.
Can we-
Now you can run them. No, don't do that. Just keep it. A2. Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is in Premiere Pro, I'll explain why this is done. So the Premiere Pro API, right? I'm gonna like tell you exactly because you need to know what this is. So the API. It only works simultaneously on A1 and V1. So it doesn't work individually on A1 itself. Like it has to work on both those tracks at the same time. Now, the problem with that is that because we have two separate audio files over here, and the first one is not the audio that you want, it will still give you the same audio overlapping on top of it, right? So that's why you have to like completely separate them into two different tracks. So A1, V1, and A2, V2. So they're two separate itemized files, basically. They have no interaction with each other.
So should I link?
Yeah.
Should I link?
No,
these two?
don't link them. Run them separately. Like click on the first one, apply JSON. Click on the second one, apply JSON.
Even though this video file doesn't have audio anymore.
Yeah, it will still work because
Okay.
the timestamps are already in the JSON file, right?
Yeah. So what about the multicam thing?
Yeah, so you can add as many cameras as you want. It wouldn't matter because the timestamps are already in the same JSON file.
So here's the JSON.
Yeah. And the first one. Yeah. So now, as you see, what's happening is that because the file already had audio, the MP4 file already had audio, it just added that audio back into, delete that again, and then you'll get basically what you want. Yeah. And now if you play it,
Now, are you hearing our audio as well?
yeah, we can hear your audio.
So the simple
did you-
solution is
yeah.
to never use the A1 audio track, or I
No,
just
it's not like that. It's not the A1 audio track. It's like when you have two different files, right? You need to separate them into separate numbers, like A1, V1 for like one file, A2, V2 for the second file, A3, V3 for the third file. So you can't have like two similar files in the same numerical. So if you have a different file in A1 and a different file in V1, it won't work. So you need
Okay.
to like separate them numerically.
Could we still link them beforehand as long as they're in separate tracks? and
No,
then-
don't link them. You need to separate them out. That's the thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a limit. Like I tried, like when we were building the API for this, like building the plugin, we tried a lot of ways to do it, but Premiere Pro has just this way of functioning. Like it's not fixable. Like I tried to fix it quite a bit,
Okay.
like when I was writing the plugin, but apparently this is the way to do it. Like I don't know. Premiere Pro has its weird kinks, you know. I just can't fix it.
So if we had like we're making a video right now where we have a face cam and then we have a top down cam, and both of those have internal camera audio that we're going to delete, and then we have good audio
Yeah, I
coming
mean,
off.
you
Coming off
can
of
do
a
it
mic.
right now. We can just if you have like some files, we can just run them right now if you have. them.
Okay. Do we need to do that, or can we do it in like our main session file, like our main? Our main
I
sequence?
mean,
yeah, we had to go and resave like all of our stuff as waves because AIFF is not supported.
oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
it's not
the one we were doing yesterday was 7.1. The paintings are made completely with kitchen utensils, so please don't judge my work. 7.1 dot wave, and then
This is the one.
was it the outro one?
No.
It was this one. No, it was the outro one, wasn't it?
Video would be blue.
I don't remember which, because this was the bad mic.
It was the one before that.
Oh, I thought you did that one manually. So C0054346. We're not really prepared to set up a multicam one because we
That's
don't have
okay.
wave files. We have AIFF. So basically, this chunk right here, we got to work correctly. And then after that, we were just running into issues where nothing was like syncing properly. I think I understand now that, so the first camera angle would have audio attached, so that would be A1V1.
Correct.
The second camera angle would have audio attached, so that would be A2V2.
Right.
And then we would bring in the good audio on A3.
At the bottom, correct.
And then we would synchronize all those. And does it matter best practice to start with like the good audio or one of the videos, or at that point
then it doesn't matter what order you do it in, but you just
Okay.
have to do them separately. Don't select all and do it, because that won't work.
So yeah, I think it was just matching channel to channel.
Yeah. So what happens is if the channels are not matched, they just keep overlapping the same clip over and over again. So
Mhm.
then it feels like it's not syncing, it's not working.
You guys have a blog post on something like this?
Yeah,
where-
we do have a blog post on this. So I'll just link it.
Well, I think that should solve our issues.
Yeah, did you get that? There's also a video showing like examples of.
Yeah, we watched the videos on this. Is there a section that specifically addresses like the track arrangement?
Yeah, there's a section called single video track linked with multiple audio tracks, and then there is multiple synchronized. If you just scroll down, there's case 1, case 2, case 3, I think.
Okay. Reading though, who does that? All right, thank you guys.
That's why we're making these videos.
Yeah.
You just need to sign a waiver that says that you don't read very much. And still get it published out on YouTube.
Well, the one actual time it worked for us, we were like freaking out on the fact that you saved us like,
You're
because
gonna be freaking out a
these
lot
clips on
more
this
now.
video are like 45 minutes long, and
can
there's
imagine.
like 10 of them. So thank you guys very much.
You bet. Let us know if you have any issues, and if you get it working, or not. If you get a chance to leave a review, we pay attention to everything. Or join us next week for next Thursday's live office hours.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
Awesome,
Take care,
Joel.
bye.
Nice meeting you. Thanks for your business.